महीमूलाधारे कमपि मणिपुरे हुतवहम् स्थिते स्वाधिष्ठाने हृदि मरुतमाकाशमुपरि मनोऽपि भ्रूमध्ये सकलमपि भित्त्वाकुलपथम् सहस्रारे पद्मे सहरहसि पत्यो विहरसे आशासुराचे भवदङ्गवल्ली भासे वदाशे कृतदुग्धसिन्धुम् मन्दस्मितैः शारदसुन्दरेन्दुम् वन्दे रविन्दासनसुन्दरि त्वाम् वन्दे रविन्दासनसुन्दरि त्वाम् Swamini Atmapragyananda Saraswati and my friend Professor Godavaris Mishra, Professor Prasanna Kumar Patra, our head of the Department of Sanskrit, Professor Rupa Bandyopadhyay, our Chairman PG Council, Professor Lenka, and all other esteemed colleagues of different departments, delegates, students, and media persons, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to invite Arsavidya to this campus, because for so many years when Swamini was organizing it in Panthanivas, I said bring it to the university campus, because university in whatever form may be, it carries the lamp to the next generation, whatever its form it may be. In our university, Utkal University, when I was there, every day there was student unrest in the newspaper. But besides, every day there was national seminar. National seminar was going on, workshops going on, poets conference. We have Kavi Samavaya every year, which is a rare occasion in this country also, because Sanskrit poets, to numbering 50, more than 50 Sanskrit poets used to come together many times in a year and hold their Kavi Samavaya. It is a rare occasion in the PG Department of Sanskrit that we have organized, and for that only our students are established poets in the country. That's why I always said Swamini, so bring from hotel to the university, because it is the real place, because we have spent all our careers in the university campus. To me, the school, college and university, they are my lifetime, whole of my life is spent up to now. Because my mother was a teacher. So from my childhood, when I started working, I walked with my mother to the school. And whenever I go, I visit university. That's why I spent 41 years in the Utkal University campus. So almost all of my career is spent there. Therefore, I said it is only an academic institute which can carry the lamp to the future. So, better late than never. So Swamini agreed with me and brought it to North Odisha University campus. North Odisha University is a science university. Almost science departments are there. So when I came, I wanted to see some activities of humanities and social sciences, because today you must have seen in all the IITs they have opened humanities. Our Sanskrit department is opened in IIT Kanpur, in IIT Bombay. Everywhere you find philosophy department in IIT Bombay. Economics, psychology, English, all these departments are now open in IITs, because to make an integral man in integral knowledge, both of them are necessary. Even though humanities, the engineering students feel that it is unnecessary for us, it is redundant to read economics, to read psychology, to read Sanskrit, but I know that in IIT Kanpur there was a sannyasi like our Atma Pragyananda Saraswati, but he was must be known to the computer science people, Vinit Chaitanya. In IIT Kanpur, he was basically a mechanical engineer, but he said, we were all talking that the sannyasis used to go for sannyasa, and their aim of life is to get to God in their lifetime, to go to attend the samam bonam of life, nishaya phala prapti. But that sannyasi has, the aim is to get machine translation. So he was doing work on artificial intelligence. In the computer science department, he was working on machine translation. And he was consulting Acharya Lu, who was in Tirupati, in the department of grammar. And he has also opened there natural language processing department in Tirupati, Sanskrit University. From there he went there. So Rajiv Singhal and Vinay Chaitanya, both of them, they shifted to Hyderabad, to IIIT, to make their project more successful. So the sannyasi has the aim to make machine translation with the help of Sanskrit language. That's why Sanskrit could get place in IIT there in Kanpur. So fortunately we are all blessed by the Swamis to be there to read natural language processing. Similarly, the integrality of knowledge depends on the scientific attitude of the research in humanities and social sciences, because we many times find that our Indological researchers are on the beaten track. Same thesis in English, same thesis in Hindi, same in Bengali, same in Gujarati also. I have examined Gujarati thesis written in Gujarati, in Bengali, in Hindi. So the Kalidas की कविता में नारी, Kalidas की कविता में ब्रह्मचारी, ऐसा. So all these theses should be moderated in the framework of modern researches. That's why the campus, which is housed by good social scientists, scientific researchers are going on, their research could be also improved. So our Godavari Babu, who happens to be basically a Sanskrit scholar in the Department of Sanskrit in Utkal University, shifted to philosophy. And there in Madras University he is established as a philosophy professor, and he was the member secretary of ICPR, Indian Council of Philosophical Research. So whether he belongs to philosophy or to Sanskrit, but it makes no difference as so far as research is concerned. And he used to speak very scientifically in different lectures delivered by him in our Astravidya, in our department, in Vanivihar, in our philosophy department also. So this time he used to say that we are going to make a discussion on Indian philosophy and its continuity. Well, he is a Sanskrit scholar, so also a philosophy professor. So he will tell me and tell you all what is the lakshana of philosophy or darshan, whether philosophy is darshan or darshan is philosophy. Because in the philosophy department people say philosophy and the Sanskrit people say darshan, and both are not identical. And like Purana Panchalakshana, Purana Rasalakshanam, Sargasya Pratisargasya Vansam Annantarani cha Vansam Charitam Jaya Puranam Panchalakshana. So that is the Lakshana of Purana. Similarly, what are the Lakshanas of darshan? He will say. Because we cannot identify, or we can say that Kant was philosophizing like Shankara. Shankara, maybe the argumentative style, deductive style, inductive style, or both these styles taken together may be adopted by different philosophers, accidentally identical by their methods of drawing hypotheses. But on the other hand, in the Indian context, what I feel, because I was also reading Shankaracharya's Adhyasahasya for so many years, for say 20-30 years, and I feel that the philosophers, the darshanicas, I will use that word, they believe in practicing that and then writing it. When the scholar used to believe that Advaita, he only speaks Advaita, and Ramanuja could not agree with him because he is a Vaishnava, he worships God, Krishna. How can he say he is identical to Krishna? The Bhakta and Bhajaman is there. So Bhakta and Bhajaman, they love to have a separate entity, because if they will not be separate, how can they worship him? How can they love him? Even though the subsequent Vaishnavas came to interpret Achintya Vedaveda by our Baldev Vidyabhushan. Even though Baldev Vidyabhushan wrote Achintya Vedaveda, it was all propounded by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his practices. He was only his philosopher. His theory was only written by Baldev Vidyabhushan, but there is Achintya Vedaveda there. And Baldev Vidyabhushan also presented many things in that. In a monastery in Chilika Lake, Baldev Vidyabhushan was there. He was staying there. Then he came to Tattvavadi Matha of Puri. But I could not locate where is Tattvavadi Matha in Puri, even though I tried my best. Being a person of Puri town, I could not locate that place, Tattvavadi Matha. Even Vallabha's Matha is in controversy. The presiding Acharya Vallabha came to Puri someday. Shankaracharya of Puri called me, we went there. He said, where is Vallabha Matha? Even though that is, some people claim Balla Matha is in front of Marichikot. Marichika Thakurani. In front, that is the Balla Matha. But people are in doubt whether that is the real Balla Matha or not. So let us not come to the history. But all these darshanas, to my mind, not to my mind, to our tradition, are from the Vedas. Because Veda, the gods Prajapati, then Indra, then Soma and Agni, the four basic deities who are worshipped in Veda, they form the basic philosophy of the Veda. Prajapati, the creation, the god of creation. When there is any darshan, they used to speak about the creation of the world, whether in Sankhya or in Vedanta. So there is a theory of creation must be there. Without theory of creation, no philosophizing. So Prajapati happens to be the creator. Then Indra, who expands the, in Indra Sukta what we get? So something like that. That Sajana Indra, he is that Indra who was settled down the earth, which was not in proper condition. The mountains are flying in the sky and he could cut them to size. So this is another expansion, another thing to settle the earth. Then Soma is another important god for creation. Without Soma there is no creation. Because Soma is the creation. What is that sloka in Bhagavad Gita? That Pushnami Jausadi Sarva Somo Bhutva Tatmaka. So all the Ausadis, all the plants, they are grown, but they cannot laden fruits without the moon ray. Moon ray is important for that only, for creation. That's why in Chandogya Upanishad it is said, when the person dies, the soul makes a journey through the smoke to the moon, Chandraloka, through cloud. Again, from Chandraloka comes down through cloud and in the shower settles in earth and enters to the bija of the seeds of the plants, Krishtapatyadaya, Ausadhayaha, Krishtapatyadaya, Dhanya Prabhutaya. So from that plant, they are consumed by the seeds are consumed by the father and they enter to the mother's womb and comes again in a new form. It is in the description of Chandogya Upanishad. So similarly, Soma is very important for that. Soma is for creation, procreation. Jiva comes and goes again and again. Then Agni. Agni is the symbol of the progress of the civilization, because it is symbolized here in his hymns to the mystic fire. Speaks it as a aspiration, as a constant aspiration. It goes up like the palpitation of this earth. Palpitation of earth, what does it say? What does the sea, the ocean, when the ocean is having waves, what does it say? That we want to go up, and the creation goes up. So Mahaprabhu Chaitanya went to the sea when he was coming back from the temple of Jagannath on Gaudavada side, that is near the seashore. He many times enters the sea. Why? Because he has the same palpitation, same vibration of the ocean. He identified with the sea that will grow up, grow up. Similarly, fire, the holy fire, is always growing up, and the creation goes up. It is like a balloon. The creation is again expanded, again down, again expanded, again up. The creation tatha purvam akalpayat nishwasitam asya vedaha smitam etasya characharasya vikhitam etasya characharasya tasmitam vikhitam etasya panchabhutani tasmita etasya characharasya suptam mahapralaya. So this is the basic philosophy of the Vedic hymns, in which we have seen how in Vishavasya Upanishad there is Kabir Manishi Paribhu Swayambhu is the Kavi. Kavi means, what is the meaning of Kavi? Kavi means Kabru Barne Dhatu. Kabru Barne means, Kabru means that which is painted, which is explained. That is the Kabru Dhatu. From Kabru means Ranga Kariva, to painting, to making anything, explain the three-dimensional painting. Four-dimensional painting is the God's painting. So God has created this world. That's why the another mantra says, Devasya Pasya Kavyatvam Na Mamara Na Dirjati. In both the lakaras, Na Mamara Asti, Lit Lakare Asti Na Mamara Na Dirjati Kasmin Lakare Vartate. Lot Lakare Vartate, Tatra Lit Lakare Vartate. Atah Devasya Pasya Kavyatvam Navamara Na Dirjati. You see this is the poetry of this God, Kavya of the God which is never dead and never went away, withered away. So all this is for this is the Kavi, which is Manishi, Paribhu and Swayambhu. He is created from himself, and he creates the whole world, and everything creates from his consciousness. Kavir Manishi Paribhu Swayambhu. And then it is in a catechismal style of Upanishad. Kene sitam presitam man. Who did this? Who did this means? Who else can do this? That means he only can do this. It is in a question answer style, catechismal style. And jab manuna manute. Like that, the question and answer are same, that he is Hiranya Garbha. Samavartata agre bhutasya jatah patire karasit sadadharas prithivim dhyanutima kasme devaya havisa vidhema. Tasme devaya havisa vidhema. That who is the upholder of everything. And again, in that Skamba Sutta of Atharvaveda, Skamba, which is half manifested, which is manifested, unmanifested and both, in a great fulcrum of the creation, in that Skamba Sutta. So that's why Hiranya Garbha, he is Hiranya Garbha, and Hiranya Garbha Samavartata Agre Bhutasya Jata. So he has created everything, all the bhutas, and we will go for Sahasra Sirsa. That means whatever we find is created by him. In Sahasra Sirsa, what is that? Jagnena Jagnam Adajanta Devastani Dharmani Padaman Nyasanna Teha Naga Mahimana Sadanta Jatra Santi Shadhya Purve Deva Adhyasam Brada Pradabbe Radati Vishadharamana Samavarta Tagre. So in Jagnena Jagna what happens? This is the sacrifice. Sacrifice means sacrifice of Purusha. Sri Aurobindo writes this in a very symbolic way. In our Sri Aurobindo study circle, people don't understand because they have not read Purusha Sukta. Unless and until one reads Purusha Sukta, how can one read that Purusha Yajna and Prakriti Yajna? Purusha is doing Yajna unto himself. He is sacrificing himself and disseminating himself and creating himself. How is he creating? Is he creating in the मुखम किमाहु किम बाहु किम रूपादा उच्यते कौन बाहु कौन पादा इति उच्यते न ब्राह्मणोस्य मुखम आदित्य बाहु राजन्य कृता ओरु तदसत वैश्य पदव्याग्न शूद्रो अजायत चंद्रमा मनसो जात चक्षु कहले कौन ना जहार निश्वास मरुत देवे होइले तहु जात नेत्रु अनंत मूर्ति कंठरु जात सरस्वती सदा चंचल निद्रा नहीं एरूपे शून्य अचरई सो ब्राह्मणों से मुखमासित चंद्रमा मनसो जात चक्षु सूर्य जायत सूत्राद वायुश्च प्राणश्च मुखाद अग्निरजायत सो ऑल दिस क्रिएशंस whole of the creations so all these are jatha purvam akalpayat that means whatever was there if there will be tsunami there will be a bhumikampa an earthquake a great flood the Himalaya will fall down with all its icebergs what will happen all your national libraries and all your state archives, everything will go away. Then where the Veda will come? How the Veda will be revived? Yatha purvam akalpaya. So that is the thing that it is. That's why it has thing that knowledge will come. Knowledge is never in any watertight compartment. It is always in the universal consciousness. From universal consciousness, knowledge comes. So it recedes. That's why when there is pralaya, khanda pralaya, mahapralaya, so many pralayas are there in which who is gone down. That's why Brahma has only 100 years of Paramayu, Brahma, and in 100 days, in one day there are so many yugas, and in one muhurta everything is going away. So the relativity of the time and space of this creation and the eternity of knowledge, that is the Vedic knowledge, Vedic philosophy. Eternity of time and space and eternity of the creation. Yatha purvam akalpaya. So creation and dissolution both are of same time. You see hundreds and thousands years of creation and hundreds and thousands of years of dissolution. Dissolution is the same, Ratri. Because Brahma is a very small child. He is playing in a sand art. Like Sudarsana Patnaik is playing with the sand art. He is doing sand art. Very small child. We remember in our childhood, we used to play make some temples and many things in the sand before in the seashore in the Bay of Bengal. And when we come, in the Ratri comes, we dissolve them, we jump on that temple we have prepared ourselves and come back home. Again, Ratri comes. So creation and dissolution. Dissolution is also very long and it also continues. That is one point I want to say. And then comes the four important vakyas, mahavakyas. Ayamatma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma, then Aham Brahmasmi, then Tattvamasi. So these four words, they are churned from the ocean of Veda. And these four words are taken by our acharyas to build up their darshanas. And while making hair-splitting discussion of acharyas on the different standpoints of the truth, the Sankhya or the Kapila's Darshana, which was the earliest one, paved the way for Nyaya Vaisesika, which subsequently paved the path to Jaimini for Mimamsa, to make a relation between karma, karmeti mimamsaka. So in that karma, what is that karma? I don't want to go long in that, but very important is Mimamsa, a Mimamsa philosophy, to interpret the lines of the Veda. Without Mimamsa, we could not understand Veda. They say that Amnayasa Kriya Sattvad Anarthakyam, that long sutra, 27 or something like that. Apadarthana. So that sutra used to be used by Shankara in the Saptamasi Sutra, and long discussion is followed by him. Why? He says that Amanayasa Kriyarthatva. Shankara, even though Sayana explains Veda, you know, Sayana has taken all the traditions of Mimamsa in describing the in his Rigveda Bhashya Bhumika, but he is basically a Vedantin. He happens to be in the family of Vedantin. His brother was Vidyaranya. Madhvacharya is the Prime Minister of Vijayanagara Empire. So Vidyaranya, who had the work on Panchadasi, because they have the background of Vedanta, but they explained the meaning of Mimamsa in a very scientific manner to explain the Vedic nuances. For that, he used to say that Veda should be understood in a very integral way, not in a parochial manner, that only Mimamsa, only the Karma Kanda is not the way to interpret or to know the Vedic. बंद कर दो निरस्त कर दे. So there the Mimamsakas, they have also their points to explain why Vedas should not be interpreted for karma kanda, for karma. If Veda will be interpreted in the form of karma kanda, only karma. I am raising a question to Swamini and Godavari because he is a philosopher. Then what is the use of explanation of Patanjali? Patanjali says, Rakshoha gamalagvastandeha tat prayojanam. What is the prayojan of Vyakaran? The prayojan of Vyakaran is Rakshoha gamalagvastandeha tat prayojanam. So, Lakya Uha. So, if the mantras are not used for karma kanda, then what is the meaning of Uha then? What is Uha? Uha is there explained by Patanjali. Uha is only meant for the thing of the convert of mantra. Yad thula prasatima alabheta or dasa darima panchapupa ityadi ostakapala ityadi. So why there is the Uha? Why Patanjali says Uha? Uha means the mantras are converted to be explained, to be used in a prayoga, in different linga, different vachana, and they are all done for that. So, Rakshoha gamalabhvasandeha tat prayojanam. When Vyakaranas prayojana is explained there, Vyakaranas prayojana is exclusively for the Veda, not for you people to read them and produce PhD thesis and write down that vibhakti, karaka, samasa or meta language of Panini. It is not meant for that. It is meant to explain the nuances and the difficulties of the Veda. So that is the prayojana of Vyakarana. That's why the Uha is there. Uha is to convert the mantra for the prayoga. So this important point should be noted, that the Vedic mantras are, though there is particular philosophy is there, but Nishriyasa Phalaprapti cannot be ruled out, and it should be on the basis of the prayoga of mantras. And that's why in Veda it is said, Vedasya Yagyam Ulatvam, Yagyam by Sreshtatamam Karma, Ataha Tat Dhvaram, Yagyam, Dhvaram Nama, Hinsa Rahitam, Hinsa Rahitam Adhvaram, Tat Dharayati, Adhvaram Dharayati, Adharyu. So Adharyu used to hold the Yajna, which is, you see, Yajna is such an institution where we can find all the articles, like a theatre in Natyashastra. In theatre everything is necessary, from a needle to the aeroplane, because nowadays what happens, the film directors, they need everything for their film. Similarly, Yajna, everything is necessary. There is not such a Astakapala, not only Astakapala, there is Chamasa, Spaya, then Udagapatra, then Ida, all these articles, whatever are necessary as the instrument of the Yajna, are the instrument for anybody, ordinary people, in his way of life. You also cultivate. You cultivate through your plow and bullock. You also cultivate before you make yajna. See, that land should be cultivated. Before yajna, that should be cultivated, because it is a sthantila. Then sthantila yajna cannot be performed. Then there will be Sita. Sita will come. That means the Langala will come. You have to make it completely like you are building a house. You have to make the house, the land same. The land should be that should be samskara. So like a plow is necessary, similarly the istakas will be made, then the sala will be made, everything is necessary. As a household person, yajna is the whole of the life is included in yajna there. That's why gradually when it became more technical, more complicated, so naturally many people came out of that grip. And the Jayadeva puts them in a very sarcastic manner. I don't think Jayadeva is against sacrifice. Jindasi Jagya Vidhe Raha Sutijatam Sadaya Hudaya Darshita Pasughatam. So there, Jayadeva, do you think Jayadeva is against Yajna? Jayadeva is never against Yajna. But he says sarcastically that these people, those who are against Yajna, they worship Buddha. Sadaya Hudaya Darshita Pasughatam. Pasu Marana is there in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. But by what it is said? Sahajam Kiram Jat Vininditam Karma is imitated by Kalidas in Abhigyan Sakuntalam. So Sahaye Kira Je Vinindiye Kamme is that in Abhigyan Sakuntalam. Similarly, that sloka is taken from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. That is Sodhane Nidhana Shriya Paradharma. Whatever karma if you are given as your Sahaja karma. What is Sahaja karma then? Sahaja karma is Sahajata karma. That is given to you by birth. That is your karma. by your nature, by nature also, one can say, by nature or by birth. Whatever karma you are given, even if it is bad, sadosam api na tyajet. You cannot leave that work. If you leave that work, you will be killed. In Ramayana, the Sambhuka is killed by Rama because Sambhuka was assigned the work of cleaning. Like Modi is assigning the work of the people of India to clean. Sambhuka was given the work to clean the Ayodhya state. But he went to forest and he was drinking smoke. He was facing towards the smoke and put his leg on the top of the branch of the tree and doing some sadhana. Like people are in Mayurbhanj, they are making a guni gardi and cutting each other's head. This is happening. So Ramachandra came and like our people, those who come and cut the head very peacefully, Ramachandra came and cut the head of that Sambhuka because Sadosam apinat tyadet, sahaja karma, even if it is bad, you should not leave that karma. But you should not be in a postmodern interpretation of Ramachandra. People say that Ramachandra, why Ramachandra killed a Shudra? He is a Harijana, he should be protected under the constitution, and so many things they use to interpret it now. I said this is not postmodern interpretation. Postmodern interpretation means you have to interpret this thing on the present context, not on the past context. Because my grandfather never wears a coat and a pant. He said my grandfather was wearing gamucha, only some gamuchas or some dhoti, and he goes to the court of the king. This dhoti and he said no, he was not civilized. We can't say like that because it is not contextual. So the postmodern interpretation should be kept aside when we interpret Ramachandra killing Sambhuka because he was assigned some duty and left it to create a social disharmony. Another thing I like to say that in philosophical discourses, many new people came with new thinking, which was not very easy to digest. Though Jayadeva says, Nindasi Yajna Vidhi Raha Suti Jasam, or Manmohan Das was Vice Chancellor. I was a research scholar at that time. He asked me, please tell me the body was performed by before which Thakurani? In Yajna there is no Thakurani, there is no concept of Thakurani in Veda. That there should be body like Kali. In your Calcutta, before Kali people take body. Or in Guwahati, in Assam, Kamakhya temple every day, every minute there is a bali. But not like that in the Vedic sacrifices. Vedic sacrifices were not like that. And he was asking, I will go to Bombay for History Congress, please tell me what type of jiva was given bali, sacrifice before which Thakurani. I said he was my Vice Chancellor, what shall I tell? I didn't tell anything because I was also very young at that time like you. So, what can I say to the Vice Chancellor? Anyway, there many people came out. You see, any system, any thinking, whatever it may be, to what extent it may be very high, but it also has some time that people come out of that. You know, when everything is systematized, very, very systematized, anything becomes more systematized, people will be tired of systems, they will come out of it. You know, so Krishnamurti used to say, J. Krishnamurti, that whenever anything becomes systematized, that becomes dogmatic. that becomes out of reasoning. So that becomes a religion. What is a religion actually? Religion is not a good thing. Religion word is not a very good word. Because when any practice becomes systematized, we can say religion, in Indian context we can say a cult. Cult means Kali or Krishna or Buddha or Jagannath or anything, Satya Sai or Shirdi Sai or any. We will go one God, one church and one temple. One God, one church and one Bible, one book. So that type of thinking, when it grows, only Bhagavad Gita. Why Bhagavad Gita? Why not Chandogya Upanishad? Why not Brihadaranyaka Upanishad? So whenever you insist on a particular thing, it becomes obsolete. It becomes bad, and it loses its significance and becomes a religion. You have to go. You go to Gundichaghar. In my house, adjacent to my house is Gundichaghar, Puri. So there people, somebody came and tie a rope there, a small thread there in that coconut tree. So that priest was sitting because many people are roaming there. You do tie here and give me 10 rupees. So they come and tie. Because of that, the people are very much God-fearing. And gradually the coconut trees became higher. So there is no tie there. But it is vanished. If the coconut trees were small, people were tying knots. The coconut is now higher. There is no question of that. So where is that religion? So it is all religion. Religion means doing some sort of systematized work without any reasoning, assigning any sufficient reason there. Yes, I am not, I am willfully not using that word. Because it is very difficult, it is a very strong word. So religion. So some people want to get rid of them. So Buddha came into being, that's why Jaina came into being. And they have different, and while coming out of the beaten tracks of the sacrifices of Vimansakas, they have formed another beaten track. You have to go and run, Buddhists should go and turn the wheel. Why you are turning the wheel there in the temple, Buddhist temple? Why you do Om Mani Padme Hum? I have, for the first time I visited a Buddhist temple. That was in the St. Petersburg only, because I have never seen, there is no question, there is no opportunity of Buddhist temple in Odisha. Because Buddhism, though, there are enormous Buddhist images and monasteries, no practicing Buddhist is there in Odisha. Because, you see, Majumdar, R.C. Majumdar, used to write very beautifully that we are fusing everything with each other. If Jesus would come earlier, he would be also another avatar. Not only Buddha, Jesus would be also avatar. Because we people are so much adjustive in our, we make another temple because nowadays you find Shiva temple is there, Vishnu temple is there, then Shirdi Sai Baba temple is also built in that. One Vishnu temple may be there, what harm is there? We have hundreds and thousands and crores of gods are there. If another god, Jesus will be there. Jesave Namah, Jesave Swaha, Jesave Idam, Namah Ityadikam. You can do that. In many people are doing this in the name of Yajna. In Fulbani you go, the priest, they are those missionaries, they are telling, you come to church, there will be Yajna. They are using the word Yajna. Unless they use the word Yajna, Puja, Adivasis will not come. Those people who are going to be converted, they will never come. In Kerala also, the churches are built in the form of a temple, and the priest is not wearing that dress, Roman Catholic dress or a Protestant dress. He is coming with the Patta Vastra, with Rudraksha. with a vermilion mark coming in Kerala. You go and see. Lots of photographs I have seen there. So, our very interestingly, we see they synchronize, they leave this and make another religion. So Buddha came to get rid of those systematized religion, the yajna and all these things. But when Buddha came with all his philosophical thinkings in Buddha, Anguttara Nikaya, Dikha Nikaya, then when it was written in Sanskrit by our great scholar Ashwaghosa, and again comes Dignaga, great logician, and other, they have also made these exercises of logic, which made Udayana more sharp, Gangesa more sharp, because when Dignaga and Dharmakirti, both of them came forward with their logics, they have to be more sharp. The sharper logic they have to come. When we say the Gyanasri Mitra's logic, they took all the important elements of Dignaga and Dharmakirti, that was very, very sharp, and for which Udayana and Gangesa came into being. If Udayana and Gangesa became more sharper, then Madhusudana Saraswati came to counter them with their Chakampe Tarkavagi Sakaturu Buddha Gadadhara. So Gadadhara Tarkavagi, these people, those people, they became vanquished by the sharper logic of Madhusudana Saraswati. So in Indian philosophy, the continuity goes on. When Buddhists came also, Buddhist philosophers have lots of contribution to this Nyaya philosophy because of their logic. What I have learned, which is very little of my knowledge in logic. Those logics of Buddha's in explaining Sunya, which was probably said by Madhavacharya. So, Mukhyo Madhyamika Vivaktam Akhilam Sunyam Cha Mene Jagat. Yogachara Matena Tu. Do you remember that Karika? It is perhaps in Sarvadarshana Sangraha. So that Sunya's interpretation of Madhyamika and Yogachara and Vaibhashika and Sutra, Vaibhashiko Bhasate. I don't remember because I am not teaching those things now. So Vaibhashiko Bhasate, like that, the situation of a Sunya which they developed popularly, Antar Sunya, Bahi Sunya. That Sunya philosophy took the Ayurveda, the Buddhist doctors to grow that Rasayana. Do you know Nagarjuna of Rasayana and Nagarjuna of logic? The Nagarjuna's Sunya made them to prepare Rasayana. The Rasayana means the alchemy of mercury. Mercury was used in medicine for the first time. They made it that it should float, the heaviest metal. Mercury drops in the water, but that flows in the water by the preparation of Rasayana. So for that, hundreds and thousands of books are written on Rasayana only. The Buddhists only came forward to write on these Rasayanas. So Rasayana and type of medicine, and why Sushruta medicine was not, Sushruta surgery was not up to date, updated, and it was obsolete because of the Buddhist Rasayana came. They said we should not make any surgery. will cure the disease with the help of these alchemy. So the alchemical medicine, the medicines used by them were prepared by the gold or abhra, lauha and parada. They were become bhasma, and they used in the very micro medicine, like micro homeopathy. They invented micro medicine from that Sunya concept. So the Sunya concept also came to Odisha. We was very much in Odisha when we come to Lord Jagannath. Jagannath is Sunya. The eyes are only Sunya. You go and go to the tree and make a Sunya and it becomes Jagannath, a neem tree. What is the worship of Jagannath? A neem tree scooped by a hollow, by a round. And in the language of Saura, they worship Madhava. Madhava means one big round, in that big round two small rounds. Mouth and bow. Mouth means head, bow means eyes. Means Madhava. That is Madhava in their language. So in that language, these round face and two small eyes. That is Jagannath, Sunya. And that concept is developed in 15th century in Odisha by Achyutananda, by Shishu Ananta, Balaram Das, Achyuta Ananta, Jasavanta. That is one maxim in Odisha. That is अगम्य भाव जाने जसो अगम्य भाव जाने अच्युत नहीं अगम्य भाव जाने जसवंत अगम्य भाव जाने जसवंत आगत नागत अच्युत भणे बलराम दास तत्व बखाने भक्ति भाव जाने जगन्नाथ पंचसखाए ओडिया महंत. Panchasakha. So their philosophy is like that. Agata, Nagata, Achyuta, Bhane. Achyuta in all his 70 to 80 small works, Sunya Sangita and many works written by him. In that he used to say what will happen and what has happened. Achyutananda Malika. Sunya Sangita. In that Sunya Sangita, he used to say everything comes from Sunya Brahma. From Sunya Brahma, they used to explain in some other word, Sthula Brahma. Sthula Brahma. Sthula Brahma means Sthula Brahma. And they used to provoke this through the people, ordinary people, and they brought this knowledge to the grassroots of the society, in which people could decide on that. So Gadi Brahma, then Gadi Brahma could be created. Gadi Brahma means in Odisha, in villages, a lump of mud is kept there. That is known as Gadi Brahma. Either that is of Achyutananda or Balavanta or Jasavanta, and Achyutananda was a great propounder who was travelling to Puri. On the way he found Jasavanta was cutting corn in the cornfield. He said, "Well, what are you doing?" "I am cutting corn." "No, come." Like Jesus said, "Tom, Dick, Harry, what are you doing?" "We are catching fish." "Throw, come, we will catch men." "Throw that net, come with me, we will catch men." They have caught 2/3 of the world. Jesus. So similarly, Achyuta called him and said, "Come, we will catch men, we will go to Lord Jagannath, because he is Sunya Brahma.
We will catch
Jagannath." So they come, Achyutananda and Jasavanta and Ananta. Both of them are mystic poets, and their poetry is very, very mystic, like Upanishadic, like Navadvara Puri Dehi in Atharvaveda. There it is, he says, that Pancha Mana Lagaila Pancha Mana Pachishi Kabata, Pachishi Paika. He has for 24, 25 people and 5 mind. All these Sarira Tattva Bhajanas were made by Shishu Ananta. And they were all thinking alike. People say they are Panchataka, but historically they are not contemporary people. There are so many stories of Lord Jagannath Das, who translated Oriya Bhagavata, translated Sanskrit Bhagavata to Oriya. Of course, it is not exactly the translation. It is a transcreation, a very monumental work which is adopted by Shankardev in his Namagara. The Bhagavatas were written by Shankardev in Sanskrit, in Asamiya language. They are also taken by Jagannatha. When Jagannath Das was reading Bhagavata there, before Ganesha temple, there is a Ganesh temple in Jagannath temple. Have you visited Jagannath temple? Must have seen Ganesh temple. So in that Bhatta Ganesha, in front there is a Jagannath image. That was the place where Jagannath was writing and reading Srimad Bhagavath every day. So anyway, so those Panchatakas, they have adopted the Upanishadic Sunyata. They are not the Buddhist Sunya or Jaina, the negative Sunya. Here Sunya is Purna. Sunya is not Sunya. Like Purnat Purna Mudachyate, Purnasya Purna Madaya, Purna Mevavasishyate. After 200 years in the forest, somehow some people grew to speak negative Sunyata in this country. Who are they? They are Mahima Swami. In 19th century, Mahima Swami appeared in Puri. Nobody knows his life history. They came in a body to destroy Jagannath temple. There is a case record in High Court, you can verify it. Mahima Swami with hundreds of followers immediately emerged in Jagannath, in the Puri town, and then they drove away somehow. And in that moment came Himabhui in a dense forest of that place near Sambalpur, Herakul jungle. He found himself, and he is that man. He would to worship Stuti Chintamani. Stuti Chintamani, they worship, their Sunya is negative Sunya, not positive Sunya. Ruparekha nahi Sunya dehi, acha Sunya rahi. Nahi Bhima Bhayankar bhajana, Ruparekha nahi hai Sunya dehi, acha Sunya rahi. So, in that way, Jainas have impact in our, you see, Jainas, we have a Vrata of Ananta Vrata. Ananta Vrata, you know? Ananta Chaturthi Vrata. In that Vrata there is a story. That some Kapuris have come. Kapudi, what is there? Kapudi means those who wear some cloth, some sannyasis, they came. That Kapudi reference is to say that this is a sect came from Gujarat. Long way from Gujarat they came. And they used to teach them how to weave or something like that. the weavers group in Odisha, not all, but many in Cuttack district, say in the Manika, Maniabandha, Athagada, Banki, Ragadi. There is a Ragadi, village called Ragadi. There are some weavers group. Those weaver groups, and there is Rangani. Ranganis are also there. Rangani means they used to color the thread and weave. I am told there were very good weavers in Medinipur. Medinipur also is a pocket. Medinipur, that is Medinipur. It's not Medinapur. It is Islamized name. It is Medinipur. So in Medinipur, there were expert weavers who could weave very beautifully, but they were all harassed by British rulers, and their fingers were cut, not to make such type of fine cloths. So here in Rangani, our Vasudev Babu, the Professor Vasudev Sahu, you know Vasudev Sahu? They are Rangani. So Rangani, you see, those two, there are two sects. One is Rangani, another is Saraka. The Sarakas, they only weave ordinary cloths, but Rangani, they colored and beautiful cloths they used to weave, special cloths. They are only doing gamucha and all other things. But both of them, Ranganis and Sarakas and Shravakas, if you go to their house, their language, vocabulary is different. You see, from vocabulary you can know it. As a man of literature and language, we could understand. If you go to a temple, you cannot say Pariva Katra, Vesara Batra, you cannot say like that. You have to say that Amunia Tiyari Karo, Amunia Bana, Amunia Tiyari Karo. You go to a matha, any matha of Puri town, you cannot say Pariva Katra, Bhata Randha, Rimti Pariva. So, Amunia Tiyari Hochi. Amanoi hebo, Amanoi Jichi. Kintu, Jadi Koya Pariva Katra Hala, if you say like this, they will throw that vegetable. Because you said it is Kata Hala. So cutting is a hinsa karma. So cutting is a hinsa karma for which they don't entertain that. They will not eat that. Now, suppose you have a koi gotha hit. तमें ये गला बढ़िया है माने पिता सुखा पकई करी ए पोई की रांधले बहुत बढ़िया हबो से पोई गछ काटी के सेने फोपाड़ दे खाइबेनी सेने खाइबेनी. They will cut that tree and they will never take it. So they are very much like Jainas. They cannot tolerate even hinsa. तुम परिवार कटा है नहीं पचास ला परिवार तेरे नहीं पप्पा दे आल खाई नहीं. So कौन तार कौन समय पहुँचा तो what is your vocabulary for that? What is your word for that? ना परिवार पोरेबा बनेबा पोरीबा Poriba what a word sanga. Poriba, Baneva, and they used to flock together in Sakivopal on the Vaisakha Purnima day. Why I don't know. They say our Jati used to sit on Vaisakha Purnima day in Sakivopal. Somehow they are the weavers class. They are very much vegetarian in their. They cannot listen to that also. So this is an impact on the weavers, on the Jaina philosophy, practicing Jainas. Gradually they have become mixed with the general ordinary stream, but they only practice this. I have also interviewed some Sarakas in our village that they say like this. But Sarakas don't weave good dresses. They only gamcha and all these ordinary things. But Ranganis, they are more even fundamentalists, so to say, in their behavior. So this belief also there in our villages, and the remains of our Jaina and Buddhist religion. Many people claim that they are Buddhists. That the Buddhist people from Japan come and give something to them. And many people claim that no, they are not Buddhists, they are Jainas. But at the moment they are neither Jainas nor Buddhists. Another sect we get, Aghora. Aghora sect are the Ajita Jina Kesa Kambalins. The Kesa Kambalins, you know, they used to wear the dress of hair of human beings. I have seen a person who was living like that in Sargodwar, in that graveyard in Puri, and some case was there referred to me because somebody wrote on them very badly in Dharitri, so he made a defamation case. Then somebody told him, you go to him, he will tell you. So he came to me because the editor said, I will sack you out. Why you wrote against them? Because they used to take tea in the Narakapala. They used to boil their food and take on the Narakapala only, and they remain in this Smasana. Then Shankaracharya also, when he was in his Digvijaya, he dispelled these Kapalikas and Kesa Kambalins and Aghoras and then Kaulas, but they are still prevalent in the society. Kaula is something else. There is reference of Kaula in Mahanirvana Tantra that Antasaiva Bahi Sakta Sabhayam Vaishnavathatha Nana Vesadhara Kaulaha Vicharanti Mahitare. So Nana Vesadhara Kaulaha. Kaulas are different. Kaula and Lakulisa, they are in the form of a Shiva Sarva sect, like Veera Saiva in Karnataka. There are Veera Saivas and another Saiva sect in Karnataka. They are the Lingayatas. But Lingayatas are not Linga means one small linga. They keep it in a small casket and put it with them. In a Jagyam, like a Jagyopavita, they tie it in their body, both female and male. But that is not a Shiva Linga. Lingayata means they have Ayatikruta Linga, Ayatikruta Linga, Ayatikrutam Lingam Jena Sah Lingayata. Maybe that is the Samasa. Ayatikrutam Lingam Jena. So Lingayata, evam bhavati na. So Lingayata and Veera Saivas. Veera Saivas are different. In the Kashmiri Saivism, when we go for that Uttaradeva's Kashmiri Saivism, I am not expert in it, but when I read Dhanyaloka and Abhinav Gupta, because Abhinav Gupta happens to be the great exponent of Shiva, Kashmiri Saivism. But that Saivism came from Kashmiri Veera Saiva. People say Veera Saiva. Trika. Veera Saiva is Karnataka. That is the Tamil Nadu. Trika. In that Ishvara Pratyabhigya or Pratyabhigya Darshana, that is taken by those philosophers because it is geographical, more geographical. The mosque deer of Kashmir, the mosque deer of Kashmir, doesn't know when mosque is matured in his body, in his navel, for which, out of madness of the smell, he runs here and there, and the killers are very much at age to kill them. But the poor fellow doesn't know that a mosque is in his navel. God is there, we know God is there, but God is very much in ourselves. But we run for a Nagarjuna Vesa and are killed in the stampede. Why at all we are going to the temple? Because we do not know, we go ride a kachar and go to Vaishnav Devi. So they dispel that Ishwar is there in you, very much in you. You need not go elsewhere. So God is very much in ourselves. So this philosophy was, because it is flourished in Kashmir, because of their Kashmiri is full of mosque deers. So in this way the philosophical system of this country runs from one place to another in different form, and all the way the philosophers are not, the Darshanikas are not searching for a particular logic. Even though they say, Angana lingana janyam sukhameva pumarthata, nahi? Chatvara santi padartha bhumi barjyanala nila. Lokayata. So, Charvaka Sasti. In Charvaka Sasti, they say we do not know Akasa. Apratyakhe hi akase bala palamalina tadivata adhyachanti. So Akasa is not pratyakhe. How can we accept Akasa? That is the logic of Lokayatikas. And Angana lingana janyam sukhameva pumarthata. The sukha means what is God? Why not go to realize God? That is sukha. It is all nonsense, because sukha is here, very much here, because we get Angana lingana janyam sukhameva pumarthata. So these are the logics developed by different philosophers in lapse of time, and now new logics are coming through different babas and different matas, and I hope our philosophy always searches after rationality, reasoning, and the reasoning argument with realization. Indian philosophy goes on. Thank you. Next question.